The region is boiling while Iran attacks Pakistan, USA and UK strikes Yemen, Jordan attacking Syria, and Israel fire exchange with Lebanon and Syria. And I even didn't mention yet Gaza and Judea and Samaria. But first I have a message for you from Gaza.
Hey guys, I just wanted to check in. I've been thinking about you guys. By the way, I'm here in Gaza again, but you can see the Mediterranean here behind me. We're doing okay here. I feel your prayers. You guys are with us. We love you very much. Everyone in my team knows about you guys, and I talk about the ministry all the time and the wonderful things that you guys are doing. So thank you so much for everything, and hopefully here pretty soon I'll be back to work on the ministry and help Ola out and give her a break. So I just wanted to check in and say I love you guys, and thank you so much for praying for us and supporting us here in Israel. Bye-bye.
IDF is operating in many areas in Gaza Strip. In the north of the Strip, the terror squads and lonely terrorists are eliminated as they trying to sneak out of their hideouts and attack our soldiers. The main objective in the north achieved. We disable organized terror brigades, destroying their bases, weapons and communications. But they are still fighting as the lonely wolves. They're also still able to fire rockets once in a while, but IDF raid and destroy the launchers right away. The main focus was Khan Yunis in the south and Deir al-Balah, Al-Bureij, Al-Mazi, Nuseirat and more areas in the center. Heavy fighting was also going on in Rafah and other very southern areas. Next to Khan Yunis, another Hamas headquarters was destroyed. Weapons, ammunition, computers and communication equipment was found and destroyed. Also a big rocket factory was found in the center of the strip. IDF arrest and eliminate not only Hamas terrorists, but also Islamic Jihad and other organizations too. Even though some forces were withdrawn from Gaza and formally the next phase of war started, the IDF operating effectively and successfully, and there is no doubt the goals of the war will be achieved. More and more evidence coming out of Gaza about the Iranian involvement in the terrorist organizations in Israel. In the interrogation sessions, the Hamas terrorists exposed how they were trained by Iran in Iran, together with Hamas militants from Syria and Lebanon. We all knew Iran is the head of the octopus and its limbs all over the region, but now we start showing hard evidence to the world. Do you know what else we found that kind of surprised us? North Korean weapons in Gaza. Yes, North Korea supply Hamas. I'm not surprised. It is a simple case of dictators stand for each other. By the way, North Korea officially announced this morning they conducted an underwater nuclear weapon test in response to the US joint military exercise with Japan and South Korea. So let's go back to Hamas. Hamas not only in Israel, in Middle East, Africa and Europe, Hamas operated to commit terror acts against innocent civilians. On December 14, the security and enforcement authorities in Denmark and Germany announced the widespread arrest of suspects of terror in Europe. The intelligence revealed the location of the operation, the targets of the future attacks, and equipment being purchased. We also got names and ranks in this bloody chain, from heads of Hamas in Lebanon up to the last of the operatives in Europe. Hamas is getting its inspiration and support from Iran, trying to globalize their activity worldwide. I am more concerned about what we don't know. I mean, if they got to Europe, where else do they spread their genocidal ideology? After the assassination of the heads of some high-ranked terrorists last week, this week was mostly fire exchange between Israel and Lebanon. Even though you can see a more powerful response from Israel, the fire is restricted to destroy launchers and terror squads that fire on us. Shabbat was a heavy fire day on Israel. Many anti-tank missiles were fired towards Metula, Manara, Yiftach, and more northern cities in Israel. Some damage was reported to the houses and buildings. On Sunday, with anti-tank missiles fired by Hezbollah on Kfar Yuval, 2 Israeli citizens, a son and a mother, were killed. The IDF responded with new waves of attack in Lebanese territory targeting terrorist infrastructures and operational headquarters. Inside Israel, the terror attacks continues, Israel preventing most of them. Friday night, 3 terrorists infiltrated a Dora village in Judea. The security of the village noticed alert on the fence, and in a fire exchange, the 3 were eliminated. On the terrorists were found M16s, axes, knives, and Molotov cocktails. The 3 terrorists are cousins of Abu Jahisha family. They lived in fancy villas in neighboring Edna village. Yet another proof that it is not the poverty or the oppression or the occupation that makes those monsters to come and kill Jews. It is their ideology. Then on Monday, a terror attack in Ra'anana, where a terrorist stabbed a woman, took over her car, and started running over civilians. Then he drove into a bus stop full of people. 1 killed and 19 injured. The 2 terrorists, illegal workers from Bnei Naim, were arrested and transferred for interrogation. IDF operating in Jenin, Tulkarem, and other terror hotbeds in Judea and Samaria. The operations are more intensive and much longer since the war started. In the last operation in Tulkarem, that lasted more than 48 hours, 8 terrorists were eliminated and more than 35 arrested. Lately, many killed and arrested are PA terrorists. Same PA that Biden wants to be in charge of Gaza the day after the war. The same PA that deny the Holocaust, that don't recognize the Jewish state existence, that pay salaries to terrorists and their families for killing Jews. PA, Palestinian Authority. Another terror tunnel was found in Benjamin area next to Kursa village. IDF soldiers patrolling the area a few weeks ago noticed an illegal concrete structure that had recently been built in the olive trees on the outskirts of the village. The building that was erected far from the village and was surrounded by cameras and lights and locked with a steel door aroused the suspicion of the fighters, who decided to check it out. Breaking the steel door revealed a shaft in the floor which led to a tunnel that went down several meters into the ground, and then turned onto the right and advanced several more meters. The soldiers who located the tunnel said that according to the digging marks and the tools found in the area, it seems that it was fresh tunnel that was still being in the process of digging. On other fronts, there is a regional escalation. Last Friday, the US and UK carried out airstrikes against Houthi targets in Yemen. Eyewitnesses in Judea city report heavy shelling, and 7 Houthi terrorists were killed. Houthis got a warning prior to that attack. I guess Biden trying to imitate Israeli knock-on-the-roof tactics to avoid casualties of the uninvolved terrorists. Then on Monday, the Houthis hit an American-owned oil tanker that was on the way to Israel. The US intercepted few rockets since then, and the whole situation is fragile. Also, tensions between Iran and Pakistan as Iran attacked with rockets in Pakistan on Monday. According to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, attack of 14 missiles was aimed at the following 3 targets. 1. ISIS gathering in Syria. 2. The US consulate in Ibril, Iraqi Kurdistan. And 3. The headquarters of the Mossad near Ibril in Iraqi Kurdistan. I don't know if they hit the ISIS, but many children reported being dead in those attacks. No US building was hit, and the Mossad place turned out being a Kurdish businessman's house. Him, his wife, and even his Filipino workers were killed in the attack. Also from Egypt, 20 armed men infiltrated Israel and Nitzana crossing. After fire exchange, 1 was killed and 8 injured, and all of them were arrested by Egyptian police. The Israeli and Egyptian statements claim that there was a drug smuggling attempt. Some Arab sources claim there is a new terror organization that claimed they made a terror attack on the border. On Thursday, Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the nation. He outlined again the goals of the war, including the return of the hostages, eliminating Hamas, ensuring Gaza poses no threat to Israel, and preventing the education and financing of terrorism. He emphasized that for the generations to come, Israel has to obtain a total victory. Total victory, as defined by Netanyahu, involves dismantling terrorist leadership, neutralizing Hamas military and governing capabilities, and demilitarizing Gaza under Israeli security control. But there are reports about tension between Bibi and Biden, and now we know why. Apparently, Biden is pushing for the establishment of a Palestinian state as a way to normalization with Saudi. Bibi said no. Biden administration, as reported by different American sources and confirmed by some Israeli officials, turned to Israeli opposition and specifically the head of opposition, Yair Lapid, to prepare the ground for the day after Netanyahu. Running after big achievement in the election year, Biden doesn't understand the danger for Israel if Palestinian state will be established. Let's talk about the hostages. 2 more hostages were killed in Hamas captivity. The monsters not only killed them, but made a psychopathic game out of it. They posted a video showing 3 hostages and asking the viewers to guess who were killed, who were injured, and who is alive. They promised to reveal the answer in the next video. The next day, in the video, they showed the dead bodies of the 2 of the hostages. Noah, the 3rd hostage, said to the camera, IDF killed them. From investigating the claim, IDF clearly knew there is no chance the hostages were killed by Israel. In the last days, there were a deal in which medications would be provided to the Gaza Strip. Some of them will be given to the hostages. A party of the deal was Qatar, which promised to provide an evidence that 45 hostages got medications. Up until now, Friday, there's no proof provided. Qatar said that because of the internet and phone service interruptions, they can't reach the terror organization, which is total rubbish because we know they made the arrangements for the deal somehow. I hope the hostages got those life-saving drugs which they desperately need. So it was a week with many news and events, and the regional escalation is in the air. I will keep you up to date on additional developments. For more information and to be a part of this wonderful ministry, join us at thegoldenreport.com. All the links you will find underneath this video. Thank you for watching, and God bless.